the Concrete Catwalk. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about one specific thing that is really annoying to me, but it's three types. So we're going to get into that. And in case you're wondering where we are sitting in my office. This is where everything happens with my closet. Concrete Catwalk, which is what I have as a reseller over on Poshmark. If you'd like to go and check it out, please do. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I want to say welcome to my channel. For those of you who are returning, my catwalkers, mwah, mwah, and mwah. So before we head in, I'm going to show you this mohair coat featured item that I thrifted this week. This is actually going to be staying in my closet. This coat is 100% mohair, and as you can see, she is a beauty from the front to the back. It was one of those things where I was rolling through and I happened to see it and I was like, oh my god, this is it. And I just paired it with a pair of gold sneakers and the bag that I'm carrying, which is a very old Balenciaga, honey. These sunglasses look expensive, but they weren't. But anyway, this is the coat. So let's get into this week's topic, shall we? And I actually am going to make myself comfortable. So, oh, and for those of you who are wondering, this is the mannequin that is always in the shots when I take pictures, post them to my closet. Chanel is her name. She models everything that goes and gets listed in my closet. So here she is, and she's going to be sitting next to me as we have this discussion. It's a thing that actually is very touchy for some folks, and this is not, and listen, I always say this and I'm going to say it again. This is my channel. The things I talk about are the things that are of interest to me, and hopefully they are of interest to you too. This is just, again, from experience, from things that I've encountered in my endeavors of being a reseller, and it's one specific thing, which payment, and it has to do with three types of situations that occur. And so to give you like a little of what irks me about it. One type of situation is you go back and forth with a person and you settle on an agreed upon price for whatever it is that they decide that they want to purchase from you, and okay, it's a wrap. And I'm speaking to you guys who specifically are like up on Poshmark, so you know what I'm talking about. That person, after they get to the negotiation and it is time to pay, honey, that payment is problematic, and you get the notification that says it's a problem. I understand that can happen to anybody, so I'm not knocking it, but you know, I come from the framework of, if you're spending this time negotiating the price of something that you want, and we're both going back and forth to try to get to the happy medium of, okay, this is what I want, and I'm not being okay, I'm just simply stating, you would feel like the payment situation would be current, so that when it's time to conclude and close out the sale, everything goes smooth as pie. One thing that I don't like about that is, it's not that it's a holdup on the item, but it is, though, you have something out there and then, I don't know if it's the right way to say that they drag their feet on paying for it or correcting the payment issue, but that happens to me. And it has happened where you put the wrong payment information in, or you don't update your card because the card has expired and you have a new card to replace it. I totally get it. But it feels like to me that would be something that you would immediately resolve. It's not like something that you would just be like, oh, okay. And then, you know, you realize, oh yeah, I need to fix that like 5 hours later. I'm only saying, very frustrating coming from doing all that back and forth with someone, and then, you know, there's an issue with it. So let's just move on from there. The other situation that I don't like, and this has to do with payment situations and buyers. And I've only had this experience happen, as a reseller on eBay in the past. And maybe about 3 months ago, I was out of random, I decided to sell a big ticket item. And so, yeah, I had a person who decided they wanted to buy this particular handbag. And then after the fact, she sent me an email asking could she see the bag. And I'm thinking to myself, you already bought the bag. The next step is to pay for the bag. And if you had any questions about the bag or pictures that you wanted to see regarding the bag, you should have asked me beforehand, way beforehand, because I work from the premise of once an item is purchased, it goes in a box, sealed, and it is ready to go out the door. And I told her that, and we had an exchange back and forth, maybe about 2 or 3 emails, and I simply just said to her, it's boxed, it's ready to go out the door, let me know what you want to do. If you want to continue and purchase the item, or if you decide that you don't, I have no problem with canceling the transaction. And ultimately, she did decide to cancel the transaction, and it's neither here nor there. But my issue with that is, if you are going to buy something and you pull the trigger and you buy it, and then before you make payment, you have 50,000 questions about the item, think about that for a minute. Because that's not exactly fair to the seller, especially when the item has been out there long enough over a period of time for an individual to ask any questions that they may have about said item, any concerns that they may want to know about it. No. I'm just going to say no. Don't pull the trigger and make a purchase, because then that causes a great divide between the transaction that's supposed to flow smoothly between you and I. Hesitate to pay because they've got 50,000 questions afterwards. That creates a uncomfortable situation where, let's just say it doesn't result in the sale. We just parted our separate ways and we went on. The other issue that I want to talk about regarding paying for things is the person who they come in and they decide, oh yes, this is what I want, I'm gonna get it, this is it, and they make the purchase. And I'm headed back to Poshmark when I talk about this. This is the person that swoops in, they make that payment, oh yes, they could, and then I swear 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 5 minutes later, here comes an email. Can you please cancel the transaction because I was in haste and I don't know if I really want it. I cannot stand that. I can't stand that. I feel like if it is something that you have looked at and you've decided that you want to buy it, and then you go back and you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and you pay for it, and then split second later, lightning fast later, you decide you want to cancel it. I think that is totally rude. I think it's rude and I think it's inappropriate. I think it's one of those things where it's as if a person's eyes got bigger than their stomach and they just go shoo. That is such a waste of time. It is such a waste of time on both ends to go through something where you decide in a split second you don't want it anymore. And then we've got to go through, or the seller has to go through all of this process of relisting it or editing so that it can go back out there for sale. Please don't do that. I'm just simply saying, and buyers, please understand, this is not a tear down. This is just simply saying, before you decide about something or you have questions about something, ask your questions. If you decide you want to buy something, please make sure that your payment or your type of payment, how you're going to pay, is in order. And if you decide that you're going to buy something and you commit to buy it, stay committed to it. I'm not arguing that a person doesn't have a right to change their mind. I'm not saying that at all. And when it's done in 5 minutes after the purchase, that just puts a whole nother spin on what happens with regards to the dialogue of the transaction and the things that take place. It just no. Please just no. Please don't. Speaking to this from the experiences that I've had while going through this journey of reselling on multiple different avenues, and payment is one of the biggest things that causes a rift with how I feel as a reseller when I go out here, because it takes time, energy, and effort to go through this whole process of wanting to list things and taking measurements and answering questions. Yes, it comes with the territory. It's a part of the gig. No argument about that. However, it just becomes sometimes to a point, it gets really tense. I'm just gonna call it what it is, y'all. It just gets really tense of that back and forth, or all of a sudden it's a quick cancellation, all of a sudden I can't pay, or all of a sudden, no. Let's just say no. Well, you guys, I just wanted to share that with you real quick because of an incident that I had in the not so far past regarding some payment challenges. Let me know in the comments below what have been your experiences regarding those types of things where people had, so anyway, issues with payment. Do me these 3 things. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that bell for notifications. I post videos every Sunday, and I try to mix it up with different types of topics. Sometimes personal experiences kind of come to the forefront. I want to share with you guys things that I've gone through, such as things like this. And so if you don't want to miss out and you want to make sure that you catch my channel, please tap the bell so that those alerts can come and you'll know when I post. I am also on Instagram. I am the Catwalks Concrete on IG. Feel free to DM me there. I typically post weekly, and I will be blunt, it has been very busy in terms of trying to get things listed because, we try to balance a whole lot of things, and sometimes it's challenging. But anyway, I typically do try to post. I try to post things that I list in my closet over on IG. So if it's something that you see in my closet, please feel free to DM me, and together we can talk about it and work it out so that you can get it before somebody else does. So with that, I am actually going to get myself together so I can get out of here. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!